Hello, I am your traumatized transsexual Jade James, and welcome back to Unhinged. The trigger warning for this episode is identity loss, trauma, dissociation, and that weird in between space where you've survived, but you don't quite know how to live yet. So let's talk about me because that's my special interest subject at the moment. So I have worked extremely hard to become Jade. I just never thought about what Jade would do. Not because she isn't living her best life, because she is, because she's a delusional trans icon spreading love and inspiration across the world, and also being quite fabulous. And maybe a little bit selfish for this trauma dump, but I'm not talking in a cruel way. I'm talking in a sometimes I deserve to take up space, and yet somehow that feels wrong. Not well, because that feels like a moral failure. I don't know where that came from. It's just there doing stuff for myself. I feel like I'm on a journey, and I hate that word because it makes me sound like I know where I'm going. And I know that everyone's going through life and they've got their milestones and their arcs. And, I'm not saying my situation is any worse. I'm just saying that could this situation get any more disorientating? Like a completely traumatic past, a gender transition, discovering that you've got possible ADHD or autism, and then trying to fall back on a personality only to realize that you've never really had one because your entire life has been spent coping and not becoming. And I hear people talking all day long about themselves and their lives, and I'm going to be honest, I've never truly listened, and it's not because I don't care, it's purely and simply because there is so much going on inside my head that I need to think just to stay upright. And my direction in life has been to simply keep everyone okay. Like, do you ever just want to feel normal, but you don't actually know what normal feels like for you? Because when I look back at my life, the only time that I've ever truly felt normal is about, honestly, 6 months of my life. And when I broke that down, I realized why. It was simply because I felt safe. So, for the first time in my life, I could offload emotional weight. I didn't feel like I was bracing myself all the time, and I didn't feel like I was performing, which allowed me to thrive, to become the woman that I was always meant to be. And then she got a little lost. And I feel like a nutcase for saying this, and I'm just tired of pretending that I know what I'm going through because the more I analyze it, the more I realize I'm just a creature of habit routine and I'm just constantly searching for safety all the time. And that's it. And I just never feel safe. And I don't even feel safe sometimes inside my own home. And I've lived my entire life just petrified of the world. And I don't know why. So, yeah, maybe I'm just another traumatized trans woman on the internet, as if we didn't have enough of those already. But here is my truth. I know who I am. I just don't know why I'm so isolated inside my own head and so disconnected from myself. Because when I look in the mirror, I don't see a failure. I just see a bit of a lost soul. And I think I always have. I genuinely don't know what to do with this human body. And I'm incredibly grateful for it. And I just want to protect it at all costs. And maybe one day the fear I'm holding will loosen its grip. And maybe one day I will feel peace. And when that day comes, I promise that I'll let you know.